Hey book friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new here. This video is going to be a bit of a two-in-one in that I am first going to go over my reading list for the month of November and then move into my book haul for October. First things first, we're doing a reading list for November. Now, I haven't planned in too much because I have NaNoWriMo, which is likely going to take up a lot of my time and I probably won't have too much time to read. And then secondly, as I've mentioned a couple of times now, I want to try and get back to really enjoying my reading, which means maybe selecting a small TBR, and then if I have time left in the month, I can just grab from my shelf. And I think that also adds a bit of fun into it because we're not constantly planning, and this is coming from a serial planner, but we're not constantly planning every single book that we're going to read and when we're going to read it. There is a bit of like spontaneity in it. So starting with Mina and the Slayers by Amy McCaw. I started this in October, but I've not finished yet. I still have a way to go, so this will be my priority book to read this month. As for our classics read, we haven't been great because we either finish late or we haven't discussed anything or one person can't read a certain book that month, and that's totally fine. We're not going to put any pressure on ourselves. So I actually didn't finish I didn't even start Frankenstein in October. So I am hoping to read two classics this month, so Frankenstein being one and Wuthering Heights I'll pick for November being the other. I am going to subscribe to probably Audible, maybe Scribed, but somewhere anyway, and get back on audiobooking because I find that quite easy to double up on books then, because I can listen when I'm not able to physically sit down with a book. So I'll likely try and read those two as audiobooks. Next, I have Mothtown by Hardaker. This I mentioned in one of my previous videos, and that I'm really excited for this because it sounds quite like eerie, and there are like little illustrations in here too. So this is out in November, so I'm hoping to finish this in time for publication so I can review this maybe on publication day or just before. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I mean, just looking at that cover and the color palette, like, it's just a gorgeous book as well. Heart of the Sun Warrior by Lynn, and this is my buddy read for November. I'm really excited about this book because I really enjoyed Daughter of the Moon Goddess, the first one, and I am reading it with the same buddy so we can kind of continue gushing and discussing this book. Finally, my round robin for November, which is slightly late. I think this is meant to be my October round robin, but we're all a bit behind. It is Ready Player One by Ernest, Cline, and I've actually already read this book and really enjoyed this. This was probably one of my favorite books because it was so nostalgic and so fun, and I loved the dystopian element of it. So I'm really excited to read this again because it has been a while, so it'll be nice to refresh my memory. And then I'm also hoping to read a few more Palestinian books. I actually have a few non-fic books that I downloaded from Haymarket. They were offering 3 free digital downloads, so I am hoping to read a little bit more and educate myself a little bit more on what is happening in Gaza at the moment. Now on to my book haul for October. I have 2 bits of publisher book mail, 1 book subscription box, and a book that I got from a friend, and then also a few of my pre-orders. So let's get into it. Sent to me by September Publishing is The Witch's Survival Guide, and this is really cool because it is a book on burnout and how to kind of manage that. I really need this because I am constantly on the verge of burnout, so this will be really cute. And this also came in the most beautiful little box, which I'll just show you quickly. We have like a little vial. We have a little candle, little sprig of lavender, which smells gorgeous. And then just the purple kind of color palette of this is really cute. And on the back of this little card, we have, it says growing your joy spell jar. So that's really cute. And I'm so grateful. So thank you, September Publishing. I'm hoping to read that. I obviously don't think it's a book you can just like sit down and read from first to last page. Like, it's something you're gonna kind of dip into every now and again. But yeah, I'm excited. The next bit of publisher's mail came from Faber, and it is Infinity Alchemist by Kacen Callender, and I'm really excited for this. Just look at the cover, it looks so cool. And this follows young alchemists, and it is dark academia, YA, and there is a lot of cool queer rep in this. So I'll just read you the first little bit. It says, 3 young alchemists embark on a quest leading them towards unexpected love and unimaginable power. And this features a cast of transgender and queer characters of color and a polyamorous triad. Infinity Alchemist is an epic romantasy and must read for all dark academia fans. So this sounds really good. And thank you so much to Faber for sending me this. My locked library book for October came in this really cool like once of orange box, because this is usually purple, pink even, and that just like looks really cool. The book itself is the Book of Witches, and this is a collection of short stories, so I'm really excited. They're all like witch focused, and there's some like favorites in here. Garth Nix has a story in here. Alea Dawn Johnson, and also there was someone else that I saw. Oh, Amal Al-Matal, who wrote or co-wrote This Is How You Lose the Time War, which is probably the story I'm most excited for, if I'm honest. But there's also Tay Thompson and Ken Liu. So there's a lot of like big names in here with their own stories. I'll just show you this book because it looks incredible. Like the cover and the front and the dust jacket is so cool. Like I love the foiling, like little foiled details, and then of course the witches. And then the spread ed is really cool with the orange broom. And then underneath this, if I remember correctly, is just very simple but really beautiful. Again with the orange and black theme. This looks really cool, and like I said, it sounds really fun. And again, it's probably something that you can kind of dip into because it is short stories. You don't need to read them all in one go. In October, I also went on my book weekend, which is the second time we've done this, or second year we've done this, and it was really lovely. It is a group of women I met on TikTok, or Book Talk more specifically, and we all really got along and decided we wanted to meet up in real life. So we booked a weekend away in Birmingham last year, and we really loved it. We've obviously become better friends even now. So we had another weekend recently, and we all kind of traded books. And so 2 books that I really wanted was one, Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I've read this before and I really loved it, and I've just never gotten a physical copy, and someone had this one spare, so I asked if I could have it just to put it on my shelf and possibly reread because I did really like it. The second thing is House of Hollow by Krystal Sutherland. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I'm really excited to read this. I'm hoping that it's not darker than I maybe imagined it to be, and that I don't find it too terrifying because I am a bit of a wimp. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As for my pre-orders, I am not usually someone who orders more than one copy of a book because I just don't really see the point. But I also am a huge Schwab fan, as many of you will know by now, and I had the honor of reading an early copy of The Fragile Threads of Power, and then we had multiple special edition copies, and I found it really difficult to choose, so I got 2. And I know it's just something I don't need, but it's also something I really wanted. So this is the Forbidden Planet copy. Now, actually, the dust jacket on both of these is exactly the same. I've not taken the dust jacket off this one because I am displaying it this way because I really love the printed edge on this. But I'll also show you the rest of the book. This one's just really simple. Like, I really love the little illustration of Tess on the front, and then the end paper. Then the Waterstones copy, I have taken the dust jacket off because I am displaying it this way. And I really love the design on this. The edge is more of a map instead of Tess as on the other one, and the end papers again is more like a map. But both of these are signed. They're both gorgeous. I found it really difficult to choose between them because they're both like really cool. So I got both. There is also an Illumicrate copy which is just as cool, but I'm just kind of like, I don't think I need 3 special edition copies, so I'm trying very hard not to buy one. And then I just saw, I'll have to check on the company, but someone's doing like a anniversary edition of Vicious by V. Schwab, so I'm thinking I'm probably going to save my money and buy that instead of another copy of the same book. So that's it. That is my reading list for November as well as my book haul for October. I'm happy that I didn't really buy too many of those books, apart from obviously these 2 special editions, and most of them were gifted to me in some way or another. So I didn't spend too much, and I'm really proud of that. Anyway, let me know what you are reading in the month of November. As per usual, thank you so much for watching and sticking with me, and I will hopefully see you very soon. In the meantime, happy reading.